All right, so it's now 6:47. It's time for a quick walk in the morning. I should have gotten out of here 15 to 20 minutes earlier. And this is a short walk. I'm redoing a walk that last time I walked to a small town, I went down, went along the railroad tracks, and came up. And that's because I didn't know where the entryway was if I came down. Now, this time I'm going to go reverse on that route. I'm bringing my machete, which is in a scabbard, by the way. The reason for the scabbard is to free up my hand. I still don't like the scabbard because it bumps against my leg, which bothers me, which means I would rather have the machete be attached to my back here, and then I could reach back and pull it out and use it and then stick it back in there. I got to work on how to figure out how to attach it. I've got my GPS here, and that's going to tell me where that path is to go down. Now, there was a field I could have walked along, and I thought, oh, it'd be easier to walk along that thing there, because I remember that trail on part of it coming up wasn't very good, and there's plants in my way and stuff like that. Well, I'm bringing my machete so I can clear those out. And that's the other thing is that as far as exercise goes, we want to get get some walking in right away in the morning. Get out of the way. Now, when you've got all the exercise you need, and you didn't use up much of your day, you didn't interrupt anything, a normal person would still be sleeping in. Lazy fucks. God, I'm an obnoxious asshole. I don't know how I became this way. Well, I do know how I became this way. Now, I'm a total sweetheart. I really am. But I'm just pissed off at the world because it sucks. And I am reminded of a story as I sometimes think about giving up on even trying, like give up on trying to make a good place for me in this world and for other people. I'm reminded of an experiment they did where they took a mouse and they put it in a tube into a jar of water, and the mouse is treading water. It's swimming for its life. It's trying to stay alive, and will you guys shut up? Thank you. And it's going to die, right? It's going to drown to death. But the evil scientists, well, in this case, whatever. I don't know what evil even means. Why is my GPS not working? The mouse is going to die. And before it's just about exhausted, they pull it out and they let it rest, and it didn't die. They save it. And then they try it again with the same mouse. Oh, wait, in the first part of the experiment, the mouse eventually gives up, and then they save it. And they time how long it takes it to give up. In the second time they do it, the mouse tries much longer. Near failure strengthens you to try harder. And that might have something to do with how we raise children or people, and how we want to encourage them to not give up, to be tough. Because, God, people are so weak, they'll give up at anything. They think minor discomfort is somehow fatal, and it isn't. Minor discomfort is just something that makes you tougher. That's why you must seek discomfort. That's why for 20 years I've lived out in the woods in relatively crappy conditions by any normal person's standards. Because it's made me tougher. Not in the sense that I'm all ripped and, out there ready to fight everyone in the world, but that I'm less willing to give up because of some dumbass little thing. Although, after 20 years, I'm also pretty tired. Who knows? Maybe this is my first time in the glass jar drowning, and I just have to know that I ain't dead yet. There's no quitting. So anyway, that's a weird story for beginning this walk. Okay, I've got my GPS going, and I actually don't have to have it on yet. And so to save battery, I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to zoom out and make sure I've got this. It just died again. Is my battery dying? Oh, that would suck. I can't just go to the store and get another one, especially not around here. Okay, firing it up again. Oh, it just freaked out. Oh my God. What is going on? Oh man. You know, they could have made this camera so you can set it down better. But, you know, there's a tripod thing, but I'm not going to carry a tripod around. All right, so we're going to take the batteries out real quick and put them back in. There's no corrosion, so that's not the problem. But maybe there's a little connection problem. This has been a very reliable Garmin GPS, by the way. It's an eTrex Vista HCX. I should probably get a new GPS because this is old. And even though it served well, I'm sure GPS technology has advanced greatly in the last 15 years, or I don't know how long I've had this thing. Okay, we're on, and I need to switch to something that shows me the battery level. Battery's almost dead. That's the problem. Okay, so I'll turn it off, and I'll just try and I'll bring it. But I'll only try and use it. God, I wish I had some more batteries. I'll just try and use it long enough to make sure I'm on the right trail. But, you know, I mean, I know this trail well enough. I'm not really sure, actually. And I might find another route that actually skips the railroad tracks, but I don't want to go on that route, and the point is to walk. So, yes, there's a shorter trail I know I could go on. I know of one. But that isn't the point. The point is I want to go on a longer trail. God, this machete is annoying. All right, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, I have to walk. And I got my excuse to go on a walk. Now, once this trail gets all fixed up, I won't need the machete very often. Maybe, you know, once a year, twice a year. But one thing with walking is I don't get an upper body workout. And so, although I'm getting some level of exercise, even with just these brief walks, it was 6:47 when I sort of started almost. Can't use my GPS to track it. What time is it really now? 6:55. Okay, great. So I'm expecting that this is going to be a pretty quick walk, actually. For some reason, last time I did it, I think it took me... Actually, I don't know if I timed that one. No, I didn't. I GPS pointed it so I can measure it. But the other time I went on the longer walk, it was like still over 2 hours. But I'm expecting to be back, let's see, at 6:55. I mean, I could end up being back before 8 if I went fast. But I might sit around in town. I might get some tortas. Sandwiches. I don't know. I gotta get out of the house. The thing is, I sit on my ass on the computer all day trying to figure my life out, and that is one of the least healthy things you can do. So it also correlates with the most valuable work I can do. So there's a couple solutions for that. One of them is a standing desk, which I used to have one of. Standing desks are great. Not that standing is great exercise, but it's something. And then having enjoyable other activities in your life, which also work as exercise. I'm kind of against gymnasiums. I understand why we're moving pieces of metal around for no reason. So I think social activity can be combined with physical activity, walking and talking fits that bill really well. I guess crafts, sitting and doing a craft, at least moves your body some. But I just saw an article that most of the problems with aging, whatever, there's many articles like that, start out that way, but one of the issues with aging is a lack of exercise. I would say the other one is diet. But building exercise into your life is super important. And so the problem is, people go to a job and they work and they're on their ass, and then they sit around and socialize and eat, eating as a social activity for hours. Everything's fucking sitting. Dancing is a fairly social activity. Doesn't correlate real well with talking. Although, if you turn the fucking music down, people could dance and talk too. I mean, what would happen if you combine dancing and conversation? Can that even be done? I mean, one is so physical, the other one is so mental. They don't seem to fit together that well naturally. That makes sense. Well, I need cardiovascular is what I need. That's one thing I don't do any of. And I have the excuse of my fucked up legs. But that's a terrible excuse. I should be on a stationary bike. Also kind of lame because you don't get anywhere. I used to have a mountain bike. It was stolen like 20 years ago. And then I had another one and I gave it away because I was in the mood to give shit away because I'm an idiot. But I don't have a mountain bike. So a couple of mountain bikes wouldn't hurt around here. Because I've thought about even electric ATVs. But then you're still on your ass. I guess you're on your ass on a bike, but you're getting some exercise. I don't know. I think that could be on my to-do list of things to buy. It would be 2 mountain bikes, although I have complex thoughts about that. Because then people want to go do tricks and do tricky things, and they get injured. I did a whole video with some people about their cool mountain bike experience. Real nice people. And they're big into mountain biking, and we made the whole video about how safe it was, and excellent was you wear this protective gear and all this stuff. And then the next day, maybe it was the same day, I don't even know, the two of them went out on their mountain bikes, did not wear protective gear, and she got in an accident somehow and got a huge gash on her knee from her metal pedal, I think. And then I had to drive her to the hospital while the guy was freaking out. She was fine. I mean, she wasn't freaking out. She wasn't fine. She had a big gash in her knee. And they stitched her up and it was all fine. But I don't know about mountain bikes. I guess I don't want to see them as a sport thing, As a transport thing, I can see it. My life is so complicated as I try and design a different culture. And this even gets back to that mouse example where the difficulty of actually designing and implementing a new culture is so hard that anybody would give up. I mean, everything around you is designed to enslave you. Everything is designed to support the system as it is. If you deviate, you will be destroyed. What is that phrase in Japan? The nail that sticks out gets pounded down. It's anti-individuality. It's anti-freedom. And, I'm in this bizarre conflict all the time of wanting to create a system in which there's cultural limits on what is allowable and what isn't, but is actually far, far, far freer than the default society. And when people look at it and some of the things I write and say, they say, well, I don't want any limits put on me. Brian, you're coming up with these reasons why I can't do whatever the fuck I want in your fucked up system. Well, you live in a fucked up system, you goddamn slave. And so, if you want to create freedom, then you're going to have to create an alternative. And that alternative will also have constraints on it. If you're going to be in any relationship with anyone, or preferably lots of people, because relationships can be profitable, we are not lone wolves, although I'm pretty goddamn close. I'm a lone werewolf. Not really, but it feels that way. Nobody is a island, but I am pretty close. So people like reject the idea that there's any of these intentional restraints we agree to, social contracts. They're like, no, I don't want anybody to tell me that. Yes, you fucking do. You want other people to tell you that there's a structure that protects you against other people's behavior, that makes you accountable to have good behavior yourself. I don't have that. I need other people around me to make me accountable so that I am more effective, so I get more of my own goals done. Because ultimately, I mean, I kind of have a weird thing where I like to show off for people. You know, I want to do great things, and I want other people to see it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's just like a little kid, you know, when they do something cool, they want to say, look, I did this. You know, it's the same thing. We're adults, but maybe it's ego, maybe it's bad somehow. No matter what you do, some dumb fuck's going to criticize you for it. So, just who cares about any of that? But anyway, so this cultural design thing, it's so tempting to just fucking give up. Like, why don't I just sell this place and get a condo and have fun and chat with people, chat like a good slave, and do nothing. Nothing of any revolutionary value to create something innovative, to create something that's a fulfilling society, that protects the earth, that enhances our own lives, and that we don't just serve other people. Sorry for the angry tone, but, you know, anger is not necessarily bad, especially in the world as it is, and it can be a good motivator. And I'm not actually angry, I don't think. I'm just frustrated. Alright, so how am I going to do this? I know my path. There's only one barbed wire fence that I have to go through. And I'm kind of hoping I don't have to go through it. Let's see if I go... No, I know a way I don't have to go through it. I'm pretty dang sure. We're about to find that out. 0 barbed wire fences. That would be great. Because the other similar walk I'm developing up there... I mean, this walk is way better. This walk is all off-road, except for a tiny part in town where there's not even any cars. Like there's 2 blocks walking in town. That's it, maybe 3, depending on what store's open. The other one, there is public road. This one has a nice view. Real nice view. And so I could even time it. This is advanced walk design. I could even time it so that I arrive at that view at exactly sunrise. Although I never want to be walking in the dark. So, you know, I could leave it civil twilight, which is when it gets just light up. I don't know what the official definition is, but it's like 20 minutes before sunrise here. 30 minutes maybe before official sunrise. I don't know, something like that. You know, because there's hills in the way. Yeah, I think timing it for that exact sunrise moment would be dumb. But when there's clouds out, it's so gorgeous. And having a spot to sit right there would not be hard to do. You know, especially if I owned it, of course. Heck, I just live over there. It's a really nice spot. I do have a full battery, so I guess I can time how long this walk takes based on this video if I just run it the whole time. But at least to town, and I can easily measure the time it takes to get from town to here, so that would tell me. The other thing is you don't have to go into town for this walk. Well, ultimately I want to have walks just in the interior here, big walks, because you could go on a 3-kilometer walk here, which isn't that far, but you could do it all just right here. I used to have a trail that went all the way around the whole property, and that grew over. Trails grow over. But on my most recent bulldozer map, I have roads designed that are not all on the border of the property, but some are. There's one big one that I thought of making over there on both these sides actually, and that's a weird road, one of them, because it's not on contour. It goes up and down, which breaks my rules. It breaks my rules about how to do roads. But for cars and for access, I mean, it makes sense for every spot it goes across. So it still makes sense. It's a smart road. And there'd be a couple wiggles in it because of things in the way. All right, so I'm now at the gate. What did I say, it was 6:55? How long does it take to walk to the gate? It's now 9 minutes, so that's 5 plus 9, 14 minutes. It takes 14 minutes to walk from the current building I'm in to this gate. Cool. That's very exciting. All right, here's the part where we're not going to go through the barbed wire fence right over there. We're going to go across this little bridge I built, not on my property, but it's between two properties, and nobody complained because it's a trail everybody uses anyway. Like, lots of people use this trail. And it's a bridge, meaning 2 oak pieces of wood right there. Just enough to get across. That's all. Happy little bridge. Okay, so here I'm across. Okay, we're going to walk over here. There's a little gully right here. I want to walk up there though, because the thing is, I'm so not limber. That's the other kind of exercise I need to do, which is not cardiovascular. Yeah, okay, there we don't have to go through the fence now. Where did I go through the fence last time? Right there. Okay, we'll go down this little road here. This is all fine. There was only one part of it that had the need for some machete work, and it wasn't much. In fact, I regret even bringing the machete, almost. Still handy to have a machete. All right, so somebody came in here and cut down some pine trees recently. I'm not even going to pull out my GPS. I might ask a friend if they're willing to buy me some decent AA batteries. Although you can't get decent ones out here because they've usually been on the shelf so long that they're old. At least that's my experience. And I do have some rechargeable ones, which I should be using. Now this gets tricky in here because I don't really want to follow this road, do I? Well, you know what? I'm going to follow this road. The trail was over there that I came up on last time. Is this, I don't know if this is really a road. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to end up down there somewhere. So we'll just decide that there'll be there's a stone wall up here. I don't remember a stone wall. It's an old stone wall. Yeah, this might actually be a better route than I came up on. Okay, so here there's a break in the stone wall, but then there's a bunch of bushes on the other side. There's a fence over there. This trail is what I came up on. We're going to go down on this trail right here. This is a great trail. Where the hell am I? I know where I am. This is a great spot to walk. I wonder why there's a stone wall over there. It almost looks like a circle. I wonder if that was a horse corral. It's kind of cool. I like old stone walls. One of the many workshops I would like to have is how to build stone walls. Stacked stone, no mortar. I'm not against mortar on a ethical or moral level, but getting really good at stacking walls, you know, like they do in England or Ireland or something, would be pretty good. Because here, to be honest, it doesn't look to me like the walls are that good. They weren't designed for long term. Looks like there was a stone wall up here as well. That's quite interesting. Be a good place for a house. All right, so the trail gets a little bit weird in here because a tree fell over. And I guess this is where I should be macheteing. Although I don't feel like it. Die, you fuck. Thank you. Somebody's gone through here already. Okay, so this was great. Now, this is not my land. So, it's possible I could run into somebody. But, that was easy. I think it gets worse up here though. I forget. I don't have my GPS to guide me. That is terrible. Look how pretty it is. I want to actually buy all this land. It's a big piece. It's mostly not useful because it's, yeah, now we're back on the road again. On the road again. Living the life I love with playing music with my friends. I think that was Willie Nelson song. I should download that. I like that song. Even though I don't play music. But I also don't like being on the road. That's a dumb song for me to like. Because it just sounds nice. And Willie Nelson seems really cool. Maybe he's an asshole, who knows, but seems like a cool guy. This is all very pleasant in here. Down there's avocado orchards. Everything is avocados. One nice thing is that I think as those mature, and I should look this up, or you can, once an avocado tree is fully matured, does it need less water to produce the same amount of fruit. Because I know they need water when they're babies, but once they're like big, you know, and they can set their own microclimate around them. And I also am very interested in the idea of growing other things with avocados. And so what if there was cedar hedges between them? You know, that cut the wind out, that kept them warmer. There's town way down there. That's where we're headed. And then grow coffee under them. Because right now they have grass under them, and so they have to weed whack it. What does that smell? It's not dead, whatever it is. It's almost a sweet smell. The fuck? Alright, here we are. Alright, now we're coming up on a field. And I don't know which way to go on this field. Here's a trail that goes down to town. But I really like that railroad part of the walk, and I want this up, down, you know. We start out down, coming back is up, which is not quite as good. The other walk I've designed, you go up, and then you come back down it. Now here I'm walking through a field which I don't really care for. And I should actually know the annual schedule of when they harvest in these fields and when they plant. So I can have 2 times of the year that I avoid walking on this walk, because I don't like running into people. Technically I'm trespassing, but I know who owns it. Well, actually I did know who owns it. He died, so his son owns it now, and he lives in California, but I don't want his workers telling him that I'm trespassing. And next time he comes down and visits, I'd like to get to know him. And then I can just say, hey, can I go on this walk? And it'll be fine. Dogs love walking around. It's so weird. Like, I mean, they do go places, but for some reason, walking with me is like super extra exciting. This is, on this piece of land, this is a place I would put a whole community. I would build buildings here. You know, and I would take anything up there and try to maximize view, although there's some nice trees in there you'd have to cut in some spots, but I would want to do a building that was all along it and cut those trees, plant lower trees, and then have a 3-4 story long building that was just designed to maximize view. I don't think I have to go over there. I think I'm on the right road. Yeah, I walked along here backwards the other day. There's going to be one other tricky spot where maybe there won't be. I'm totally not sure. No, there was one spot. I remember it. Where is that spot, though? You know what? Screw it. No, don't screw it. I want to go to the railroad tracks. Because if I cut down right now, I know where this road goes. I'm going to end up going back to town before I want to. I won't have a long enough walk. And so I guess I'm going to have to check my GPS, because I think I should be coming up over there. Alright, fuck. Alright, let's take a look. Stay on, stay on, stay on. Do it. It's not going to work because the batteries are like super dead. Okay, there we are. Where am I? Update, update, update. Nope, it just died. Didn't even have time to find satellites and update my location. Fuck. Well, I'm going to take this road. I'm not going to get the walk I want. Maybe I will. We'll see. The problem is I can't find a tiny little trail very well. I don't think I can. So what else should we talk about on this walk? I've been making lists of videos I need to make to find financial viability. It's interesting, I got one more note, I get them all the time, from somebody else who loves my vision, wants to come live here, and said they want to potentially live here, and they'd love to set up a place themselves like that. And they told me how they're just a cool person, we have similar interests. And the last note I sent back to him was, well, what pragmatically, because he hasn't even introduced himself, right? He told me what he's interested in, which is just what I'm interested in, but like, who the fuck are you, man? And I say in my profile that he's responding to, like, introduce yourself, you know? And people don't even know how to do that. And so my last note to him was, well, on a pragmatic level, well, let's see, I sent him a note that said, well, what would you want to know if somebody was contacting you, you know, to be part of your potential project? And he said, you know, barely anything more about him that had nothing to do with him as a pragmatic individual. And so then the last note I just sent him today was, let's see, I'm now at the level I want to be at, I think. Well, hard to tell. But there's no way to get from here to there. There's another road that goes down that way. What the hell road is that? And that trail was over there. So the question is, do I want to get the railroad tracks or not? Anyway, so I just sent him a note. It said, well, pragmatically, what would you need to do to create what you want to create? What I'm trying to get him to do is talk about economics of it. Like, all these people just want to magically go live, and they always say, like, self-sustainable, which they don't even know what that means, right? They think they're going to grow all their own food and shit, and it's like, no, you're not. Trust me, you don't want to do that. Especially not here where food is cheap and an easy climate. And it's just bullshit. They're so delusional about what it takes to grow your own food, you know, because they know how cheap food is, but that's all being created with, all right, well, I'm curious about this road over here, and that would get me into town quicker, but I'm taking the other way. They're clueless about the pragmatics of anything, really. And I guess that's why I just have to write more about it, make videos about it, and ultimately maybe create a school. And part of that school will teach people, oh, there's real work you have to do. I mean, I'll teach them bricklaying, rock work. I mean, I'll have someone else do it because I'm not good at those things, nor do I want to be. This is a good choice to go down here. I want the full walk here. And have them like work in the garden. There are people who actually do like to work in gardens. I'm not actually one of them, surprisingly. Even though I'm all into growing stuff and the idea of, you know, food forest farming and doing it, creating it, that's not how I want to spend my time. That isn't even the most valuable use of my time. It's in designing systems that support our existence doing that. And ultimately, that is what will happen. I mean, right now, a tiny percentage of people actually work in agriculture, and then a larger percentage work in the whole food system, you know, food distribution and all the related things to that. But, you know, the actual growing of the food is done by very few people. And in the future, when we have more expensive fossil fuels, if any, this is not how I came up. And there's the Bronco over there. Maybe this is how I came up. I can't really remember. And there is a road over here. Dirt road. Road loosely defined. Yeah, I went that way, and then I came up a ridge over there. And ultimately, it would be cool to cut a trail through the ravine here that went all the way down to the railroad tracks. I can see the railroad tracks from here. I remember walking here, and unfortunately this barbed wire fence is such that it's made to be hard to get through. So I don't like, because I want to get through it. But that's the thing is, I think it would be worth it to create barranca trails. It's a wild idea, and I have some misgivings about that. So what do? Do I try and go through this barbed wire fence, which is very inconveniently made for especially a non-limber guy like me? I ripped my balls off going across that. How did I? All right, we're gonna go this way. This field doesn't even look like it gets planted regularly to me. There is a trail up there, it looks like, across the field. I'll take that. Yeah, this little dirt path here. But what this means is that yeah, and I think I remember the GPS map. That's not the barranca, that's just a hill. Alright, we'll follow this trail. The thing is that there is no way to come through there. I already know that. In fact, I know that I came up that way, and then I had to jiggle across because there was a bunch of orchards in the way that I didn't want to go through. This field also would be a great place to build a whole town with one big building that goes along slope in here. This would all be a great view up in here. Cut these trees down, make more buildings down there and gardens and shit, and maximize view, and then replant shorter trees in here, like fruit trees, stuff like that. So you get view and you replace the trees. It's a beautiful oak tree right here. Wow. Obviously keep that guy. That's a just amazing oak right here. Look at all the multiple trunks it has. What this probably means is somebody cut it off, like at this level, and then it trunked out. That's a great design of a tree. Okay, I'm going to assume this trail goes to somewhere I can cross this barbed wire fence at. The key is just to buy all of these lands and then have high density housing that's built for avoiding the problems of high density housing. Design them correctly so that your population matches with the amount of rain capture you can do, and capture and store all rain. All of it. All of it. That should be non-negotiable. Don't fuck around with that. Alright. We're down here. This is not the way I wanted to go. And over here, it looks like people have been going through this fence. So that's good. In fact, I was here. I think I was here. Yeah. Yep, this is where I want to be, I think. This used to be a gate. And it's a shitty gate now. It's too hard to get through. Alright, well, I'm just going to slip through that. I think I can do this. We'll find out. This crap hanging off of me. Alright, surely I can do this. Oh, this is crappy too. It's not stable. Oh my god, this is fucked up. And if I don't go this way, I think this might be the way I came up. But I don't remember going through this fence. Put you down here. Okay, there we go. Oh shit. Damn it. Oh shit. Should probably edit that out. But this was a gate at one point, so people obviously are going through here anyway. Like, why make it hard for them? God damn it, I ripped my hand. I need to get a tetanus shot is what I need. Alright. And we'll close up the gate here. There we go. This could get macheted out in here too. Alright, so have we arrived? Yes, we have now arrived at the road we were on before. An excellent place to be. Ouch. Fucking blood. And this road goes up this hill here. And I walked this one before. I GPS'd all this crap. And that goes into a whole bunch of land up there. And a bunch of fences up there, so it's not one property. That's the other thing about buying land, is figuring out who owns it. And then making sure you buy enough contiguous properties so you can create something more cohesive and useful. This is great. Look at that nice view of the lake. We're back on track. Now, this does connect up with the railroad tracks, so we're done. So there was 2 barbed wire fences, neither one of which was very difficult. And the rest of it is all just a simple walk. I'm loving it. One of my to-do items is to write up a template for how communities could work, because most of them don't. And I see this meme posted constantly: normalize, which already you know something dumb is going to come. Not always. But normalize buying 100 acres with some friends and growing your food and all this stuff. Great, cute little graphic made by AI. And then people post, cult, communism, all this stuff against it, right? And it's like, well, I understand the problems of cooperative ownership, and I'm generally against co-owning anything. I did write a few things on that thread and introduce them to the land I have, but because people have just posted so many dumbass things about it. It's not in the community group, it's in some other group. But, and I blocked a huge number of people based on their responses, because they're not people I want to ever talk to or even tell what I'm doing to about. And by blocking them in the group, this is on Facebook, by blocking them, they'll never even see my comments or anything future I post. So I blocked, I don't know how many people I blocked, because the feature set on Facebook doesn't tell you that. It does not have a good way to manage your friends or who you block or anything, because they want to keep you not in control of who you're friends with. It's a very pleasant walk. And so anyway, it is still potentially a great recruiting tool for people who want to live an alternative lifestyle of the kind I imagine. And so one of my to-do items then is to create forms people can fill out to describe what it is they want, and what they say on those forms will allow me to know, are we compatible? And I want to know that, because getting just a bunch of your friends together is a recipe for total failure. You do not necessarily agree with your friends about anything. It's easy to be friends with somebody. Shit, in Seattle I had tons of party friends, and I thought they were actually friends. I was seriously mistaken. They were just people who went to my parties, and often they're cool people. And so actually I want to go in and contact some of those people I haven't talked to in 20 years and check in with them and see if they have an interest in what I'm doing. But I don't just want to invite them down, because I don't know them, and I've become very wary of everyone, as one should be. We either build each other up or we tear each other down, and most people just want to take from you and tear you down. Some actively want to tear you down. The rest just want to have an imbalanced relationship where they benefit. They were trained for that. And in any community that's going to survive, you're going to want to get together people who want to build each other up. Not even just be good friends, not even just be equal, but everybody over giving. I mean, if it's almost a competition to see how much you can serve others, then we all end up wealthy. Not necessarily in money, that's one of the limited ways of viewing wealth. But no, I was thinking about that even for my own land, of like, if you had enough communities around that had relatively similar goals that fit in with surviving and weren't dumb, then people could even transfer communities easily and make that a fluid process. People would essentially be renting, I guess, for now. That's the model. But the idea of living for free, and which is what everybody who contacts me wants to do. They want to live for free and get all their food just dropping off of them at the trees. If all the food just drops in on them. And it's like bullshit. That's total bullshit. Not going to happen. Coming down here on the railroad tracks. Dogs are off poking into something. Probably something dead or something. Alright. So let's find out what time it is to get to the railroad tracks. It was 5:09 when I left my property. It's now, it was 7:09. Now it's 7:41. So 41 minus 9 is 32 minutes? Something like that. So it's a half an hour. It's a half an hour walk from my gate to the railroad tracks. And that's without, a camera slowing me down. And that's once I don't have to think about barbed wire gates quite as much. But that's one of them is a gate already. So all I need to do is just have that be a better gate, which it almost is now. And then I forget about the other one I went through. That's on the video, who cares? There's a horse up there. So here we're at the railroad tracks. They're down there. And my other walk was longer. It went that way, way over there, and then went up. But like so far, I haven't gone anywhere where there's cars. That's really cool. I love it. So let's continue talking about exercise. Since I've figured out the walking part, that's taken care of. What about upper body workout? Well, macheteing is a really good one. That usually only works your dominant hand, because most people machete with their dominant hand. I think one of the experiments we can do with machetes is to go ahead and on purpose, even though it's less efficient, it's good for your brain, it's good for your body, is to work on non-dominant hand machete work. Now, machete working is already a slightly dangerous thing to do, so putting any additional difficulties on it, I'm hesitant about. But then again, it's not that dangerous, and we're trying to get a workout. We're trying to do better than just moving metal in a gymnasium, so I think it's worth it. And I think there is a benefit from getting that motion on, like in my case, I'm right-handed, although my mother said I was left-handed when I was a kid and that they taught me not to be. I don't know if that's true or not. Do not believe women by default. In any case, stupidest fucking phrase, believe women. Just totally asininely stupid. Nice looking horse over there. This is also road right here along the railroad tracks, so there's a guy sitting down there on the railroad tracks. Why the fuck is that? I don't need to know that. Maybe he's hungover from last night. It is Sunday, so maybe he was partying on Saturday night. Anyway, so that's one other type of upper body exercise you can get done. Other than that, it's work. It's physical work with the land. That is the thing. Chopping wood, moving stuff with wheelbarrows, brickwork, rock work. There's no shortage of physical work to be done. And at any given time, in the space I have, there should be teams you can join up that have a scheduled work time and whether or not they're open to unskilled labor. And which skilled laborers they are open to, labor sets, skill sets they're open to, and a pointer to how you can get those skills. You don't want people making stuff in a shitty way. And there's plenty of people who, for 20 minutes would love to do some work just for fun, but they'll do crap ass work and they don't know what they're doing, and they will lie about it. I am unfortunately very experienced with such things. So there's a certification process you need to go through if you're going to do certain kinds of work. Some of it's really hard to fuck up. And I guess I could just make a list of every type of physical work to be done in the space I have. That would be worth something. That'd be valuable. And I could even list what muscle groups that works with. People could be building houses. People could be clearing and making trails. Digging is an infinite activity that needs to happen. And we would do that digging in places where a bulldozer can't do it, and even a small bulldozer wouldn't be appropriate. And there's plenty of places like that. But that is one reason, and I just redid my bulldozer map of everywhere I want to bulldoze and refresh roads that have been grown over. That could also be done with machetes instead, or weed whackers. But then people could know what muscle groups they're working out. And it would be natural work with a fuller range of motion than a gymnasium can provide. You'd be buying tools instead of gymnasium equipment. And so, you know, during the week, somebody might go on a couple of walks. And then at this time of the year, working during the morning, in fact, any time of the year, working as early as possible is the best. And in some cases, we should actually, because we work and live on site, right? So you're sleeping in the same place you're working. It makes way more sense. Less commute, you know. And you're part of a development team developing that area. So I can even see having solar powered LED lights. We're now at the railroad tracks. We're going to go up to town. It's now 7:48. Wasn't it like... It took longer than a minute to walk there. It wasn't 7:47. Anyway, then I would have thought of the plane. It was 7:40, something, 7:39, 7:31, 7:39. I don't know what it was. Anyway, it's a tiny walk along the railroad tracks, nothing. Now I walk up here to town, and I get my beer for the day, and maybe... Although I'm out here pretty early, so things open up here late. Maybe tortas. It would be really fun when I have students again to actually call ahead to the lady who makes the tortas and say, look, I've got X number of clients for tortas. Because she needs to make money, right? She doesn't mind clients, but she also doesn't want to be open early in the morning when there are no clients, especially not on a Sunday morning like today. So, you know, I left at 6:57. It's 49. Okay, so this is going to be like an hour and a half walk almost, because I'm not back yet. And I'm probably just going to pause the walk in the middle and do other stuff. I might take some notes, writing some shit. But so far I'm really liking that. That's my new favorite walk. I don't like walking up to go home, but the other walk I could do would be to walk up that way. I found a new trail up there, walk partly on a road no one goes on, and then come back down the same exact way, or come back down a different way, and that would still work out, and it could still be a loop. That would work. So I go up on the new trail, which I need to fix. There's a spot with a rattlesnake that I didn't cross last time because I didn't want to cross on the rattlesnake. But I can easily, in fact, I already know what to do. I can easily make that trail work better, and it would be equally as nice as this. The big difference would be I go up and then I come back down. And also I have friends in these towns, and so as long as I get back before it's too hot out, because that's the thing, is I'm trying to beat the heat by leaving early. But I could, you know, meet with people. I could be on the phone and say, hey, I'm going on this walk, I'm going to be at this place at that time, and just send that to a few people I like. If they show up, they show up. If they don't, they don't. I don't care. I could have a WhatsApp group because people use WhatsApp around here. I don't like WhatsApp, but I could have a WhatsApp group that is just me saying, I'm going to be at this place at this time. That'd be pretty cool. Huh, somebody burned those. Oh no, they didn't burn those. These are agave leaves. What are all the dogs doing? I know a guy who paints those. They're really cool. Come on guys, we're going this way still. Oh, there's a dog in there. Yeah, there used to be a kind of mean dog. These people here have a major fencing. Look at that. Cyclone fencing with razor wire. They really don't want anyone going through there. They probably got robbed. That's another reason all the way around a larger community to put in one big fence. And then you have less need to fence in individual locations. You can still do that. Have internal security and perimeter security, both. And that perimeter security, the price tag on that's going to be really high. It's going to really add up, but it's totally worth it. All right, I'll go up to town here, and then shut off the camera. I don't know exactly how long this walk takes to get to town, but I go to this town all the time, so I think it's a 25-minute walk from my house to that town. The other reason to have that form, to really select the right people as neighbors or residents, is because you're going to be investing in these people. And it's a big decision who you decide to invest in. It's as important as who you get married to. And most people marry someone they should never have gotten married to. Most marriages are kind of stupid, actually. And then people try and own property in common, which they should never do. I was going to make a normalize meme. Maybe I'd say normalize women buying shit and then men living for free off of them. Because God, anytime I have any woman live with me, it's always me paying. So. Hola, buenos días. Almost up to town. The road in here is really crappy. And unfortunately, you can't even be honest in saying who you want to meet, because you'll meet the kind of people who want to meet you and take advantage of you. You have too much exposure. Like back when I worked in tech, I remember I was at a party, told a woman what I did, and she said, "Oh, are you rich?" Which, you know, it's just a comment at a party, who cares? But there's this general attitude of people who are looking for somebody to sponge off of. I'm just not interested, you know? There's plenty of people out there who can make their own money, who have compatible values, and or can be super useful because they're essentially working for you. But most people don't want that. Certainly most women don't. Most women are looking for a sugar daddy or a marriage where they can get divorced and make a lot of money off of it. I mean, look at the amount of wealth transfer there is in divorces. You know, you think that money goes from women to men or men to women? It goes from men to women. You know, just for being a guy's prostitute for a while. Oh, he said a bad thing. Hey, go fucking read Gloria Steinem. Go read feminists. You know, they think marriage is prostitution too. They think that's a bad thing. But believe me, there's a lot of women who want that job. As far as prostitution goes, it's very easy. It's a very easy job. I'm arriving in town now. So, I'm out. It is now 7:57, which is the same as 8 o'clock. So about an hour to get to town. there is only one audio channel, and when I talk about restrictions in the community, this is one of the things I'm referring to. Like, it's super annoying to pass a car playing music and the news intermittently, having a town loudspeaker playing music. If people want music, they can fucking play it themselves. You know? They don't need to pollute the audio channel for everyone. So you should give up your right to force other people to listen to music. Give up your right for that. And for a few other things as well. Buen dia. Another noise I'd like to get rid of is dogs barking. And dogs should not bark at people who are just passing by. They don't do that when there's no fence. Alright, it's now 8:30. And I'm back at the gate here. So I just got to walk home. That was a shorter, more pleasant walk than others. And I did think to myself that there's a shorter walk upwards to another town as well. You would go through the same gate. It would not be a loop, but it would be the shortest, simplest route. It would go by a friend of mine's house. I even thought he could put out a sign or something that said whether he was up for a visit or not. Although that could also just be posted online, where for that given walk you could see who's open for a visit or not. Because one thing I don't like is surprise visitors. They just bug me. And so there's a lot of small things, you know, like you could design to improve. You could improve social coordination by having people say what they want, what they're open to at any given time. And they could even have, you know, their friends list on the app and say, well, this group of friends, I'm open to a visit. This group, I'm not. And this kind of visit, like maybe a short visit or a long visit or unknown visit. Unknown is best, because then you can just say, well, yeah, you know, that was a great little 10-minute visit, but I got to get back to it. And have that all be okay. You know, you look at television shows like Seinfeld, or, you know, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, or things like that. And one of the driving forces behind these sitcoms is misunderstandings, miscommunication, non-matching needs. And those are fun shows, but you don't want to live in them. You want more fluid social exchange. Not necessarily a social exchange of fluids, but who's even ever talked about an app like that, you know? One that helps us just say what we want and don't want, and it's easily changeable, and it's only shared with the people you want to share it with. And if you grew up with that kind of app and were able to use it elegantly, very simple feature set to begin with, then everybody would get more of what they want. Even like I mentioned, if I'm going to go on a walk somewhere and I know I'm going to be at a certain place at a certain time, I could just say I'm going to be there at a certain place at a certain time to a certain list of people, and then they could sit there and chat or not. You know? That'd be cool. Now the advantage of that other walk would be that it goes up at first, and then all the way back it's down. And I'd rather walk down to get home. This was a fine walk, nothing wrong with it. But yeah, still gotta figure that stuff out.